All right, y'all ready? Hey, good morning. Number one, thank you for being here today. We're now inside 1 week of one of the most important votes and elections in our city's history. I want to acknowledge first the presence of our entire board this morning. By district, we have District number 1, Karen Thompson Jackson. We have District 2, Ms. Kendra Williams. District 3, we have Ms. Leslie Powell. District 4, we have Mr. Patrick Hamner. District 5, we have Ms. Erica Grant. District 6, we have Mr. Marvin Lucas, who is also our co-chair. And District 7, Mr. Erskine Simmons. Today is about our students and our teachers. And I know my sentiments and words today are about all 8 of us and not just me speaking. This board collectively has always led with a huge heart, oneness, and a burning desire to make this system the very best that it can be for each and every child. We all believe that life is larger than one person we see in the mirror every morning. This passion and selflessness are what lead us to direct our superintendent to begin this long process of getting a proposed tax increase to the ballot. Our superintendent is one of vision, he's one of character, and he's one who has led this system to heights it hadn't seen in decades. I also wanted to thank all the stakeholders that have, on their own volition, started their own grassroots efforts to push the yes vote. I also want to thank personally City Councilman President Kip Tyner and Councilman Cassius Lanier, who have been steadfast and unabashed supporters of this referendum. We appreciate and applaud their bravery and support. We called this press conference for 2 reasons. First, to review the action that we as the board took in a meeting last night. In that meeting, this board formally approved the specifics of our plan to build upon the remarkable progress our system has already been making. And second, for us to collectively and publicly state that the time is now for our citizens to get behind this referendum and vote yes. Let me clarify that this press conference is not a meeting of our board. We are not convened nor involved in any discussions of matters before the board, and we are taking no official action today as a board. Those present, which is everyone, are here as a matter of love and commitment for our city, for our students, and for our system, to tell everyone that we support this referendum, that we will be voting yes. This board has been grappling for some time with the fact that the cost of educating our children in the manner that we are educating them and in the manner that they deserve to be educated are exponentially more than the revenue that we have coming in. The expansion of the schools in our system, the escalating costs for all goods and services, the financial requirements to support existing programs, and the obligation to improve and enhance educational and career training have led to a significant rise in expenses in recent years. These rising costs and the need to continue many of our special programs we provide made hard choices necessary. We must either increase funding or make cuts to the services and programs that are vital to our mission and the future of the students that we serve. To go off script just for a second, for me it's about community. And how badly does this community want to be great? Are we willing to make a small sacrifice for our students, for our teachers, and down the line that will affect our community? This tax referendum, if passed, will allow us allow us to be bold and allow us to dream. 1986 is the last time that this city approved, let me be clear, a millage increase for the purpose of funding education. Y'all, that's 38 years. And I, for one, hate seeing this graphic behind me. I know each of these people behind me are competitors. They're servants. That's why they ran for these positions. That's why they put themselves out there, and they're winners. And that does not show Tuscaloosa City as being a winner. We are behind systems that we do not need or deserve to be behind. We all want the best for our students, and that's what this is all about. It's about our students, it's about our teachers, and it's about our programs. And we don't want a ceiling on what this system can achieve. And we don't want to continue to be, our teachers be 103 out of 138 in compensation. We simply cannot understate the significance of this vote and the implication that it has. At this time, before I continue, I'll let Mr. Marvin Lucas, our board vice chair, have a few words.
Good morning. As he said, my name is Marvin Lucas. Prior to becoming a board member, I spent 14 years advocating for our young people's education and well-being, working with PTA. One day the superintendent said, "Why you keep fussing and arguing at us? Why don't you become part of it?" And in 2008 and 2009, we decided to run for the school board. And it's now coming up on 16 years. So I've spent 30 years advocating for the education and the well-being of our children here in the city of Tuscaloosa. I come to you today because this is a big part of my heart. And it should be a big part of everybody's heart that lives in Tuscaloosa, that our children are the most important thing for us. And we need this tax referendum to pass so that we can have the proper things, that we can educate the children, and our children can have the opportunity to go out there and learn at a level that's much higher than just being basic. We don't want to be basic. If it don't pass, yes, we'll have school and we'll do everything, but it'll be basic. We want to have the best quality teachers that we can have in every one of the classrooms. We want innovative programs so our children can get more than just the basic. When the tornado took down Alberta Elementary School in Alberta, me and Mr. Simmons was on the board then, and several other board members, we went with Councilman Tyner and the members of that city. They said, bring us something different. We put a performance arts school there where children had piano, dance, theater, and music, things that we at the system had to pay for out of local money. But we wanted everybody to know that we was committed to taking care of our city, taking care of the children of our city, and making sure that those children were excited about going to school, giving them something different. Then on top of that, we turned Bryan High School into the next level of the performance arts school. We have art in every one of our schools, elementary schools, and every one of our schools. We have music in there. We got dance and theater. Tuscaloosa, home of the University of Alabama, school that we consider a championship. Our public school should also be a champion. We ask you, the citizens, to please consider this. And I want to go back to what we said. A yes vote means everyone wins. Every school, every district, and every student. A yes vote is about our children and our entire community. The success of our schools is about attracting businesses, young professionals, families to our city. You are investing in a bright, more prosperous community by supporting the referendum. Your voting matters more than just for our schools. It matters for our city and our communities. On September 24th, it is a clear choice. Simply, we need you to go out and vote yes. We must consider our children in everything we do. We as an entire board, we urge you to go out and vote yes for our children and for our city. Thank you.
The strategic plan that this board and the one immediately prior to this board put forth is a costly plan, but this plan is working, and you can see it in the results that the media has been well made aware of in the various media that we have put forth. This system is making significant progress, especially in areas and in schools that this system has not seen progress in many, many years. We are not where we want to be, but we are headed in the right direction. In October of last year, this board received a financial analysis that painted a pretty bleak picture for continued implementation of our strategic plan and the many things that have resulted in remarkable progress in our system. Based on the clear financial realities of educating our children in the manner that we are doing, this board created a detailed plan to maintain and enhance essential programs. That plan is the basis for the funding request embodied in the referendum question that will be decided on Tuesday the 24th. For over a year, we have promoted these priorities through public presentations, slideshows, emails, letters, direct mail, advertising, making our proposals to build our system's future absolutely clear to the taxpayers. And the taxpayers and the stakeholders are the genesis of our three pillars. Last night, board members unanimously endorsed and approved the funding plan you see laid out on the board beside me. We also have copies of this document for you here today. The plan's unanimous approval is a testament to our collective commitment to the future of our schools. This commitment and vision has not wavered an inch during this entire process. The plan expands pre-K to every child. It increases school safety with the Tuscaloosa police officers in every school, at every event, and all day to keep our children safe in these changing times. It maintains and expands the robust summer learning program that is nationally recognized, and most importantly, perhaps, increases pay for our hardworking teachers and employees, the backbone of our school system. But let me make this important point. This is only a plan, an excellent plan to secure our system's future and give our children the tools that they deserve and that they need to succeed. But it's only a plan. It's not a budget, because you cannot budget for programs if you do not have the funding yet on hand. That is what is at stake next Tuesday. Our children, our teachers, the future of our community. We all want what's best. We want excellence. But everything is contingent in this plan on one thing, and that's the passing of the Tuscaloosa City Schools funding referendum on September 24th. A yes vote continues our progress with pre-K, school safety, summer learning, the arts, music, and many, many other extra programs that this system employs. It will increase teacher pay and builds upon the progress by expanding those priorities while enhancing the academic and extracurricular experience of each and every student. Let me draw your attention to the chart next to me. This is the detailed strategic plan we ratified last night. And I want you to please pay attention to two specific columns. This first column shows the budget for existing programs at approximately $7.25 million. And that's the money that it will take to continue each of these programs and services currently in place at TCS. Programs and services that are essential and results show are making a true difference with all of our students. Many of these programs and services will be cut or drastically reduced over time if the vote does not pass. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just a function of mathematics. And that's a step backward, and that's not a step that this board, and we hope this community, is not willing to take. Now look at this second column right here called enhancement. That column represents additional funding and expansion that will improve the lives of our students and teachers. This is our dream money. This will allow us to be bold and proactive and allow Tuscaloosa City Schools to set themselves apart from every school in this state. We only have money for these enhancements if you vote yes on September 24th. The second column, it means no more waiting lists for pre-K. It means every child can attend pre-K, every single one. This column means our popular and nationally recognized summer learning program will be expanded to every child in every zone. And let's talk about that just for 1 second. This is not summer school. This is summer learning. And the robustness of this program and the cutting edge of this program has propelled our students forward in their academic careers. And that column means higher teacher salaries. Currently, our teachers rank 103 out of 138 in the Alabama school system. And that's not acceptable to us. Improving our pay will be one way to reward our wonderful teachers for their hard work, allow us to recruit the best and the brightest, and prevent these best and brightest teachers from leaving our district for other districts offering more pay. All of column 2 will be funded if we vote yes. And what happens if we vote no? If you vote no, if the citizens vote no, Everything in this plan you see beside me over time will disappear and certainly will not become a reality. If you vote no, every popular program in column 1 will eventually be cut or reduced, and every school, every district, every teacher, parent, and child will feel that impact. If you vote no, every expansion in column 2 will be eliminated. Our children deserve more, not less. Our schools have made substantial progress. And yes, we're currently not satisfied, but it's time to build upon that success. A yes vote means each and every school, each and every student, and each and every teacher wins. Each of y'all have seen the no vote, the no push. Commercial and residential landlords and real estate developers who have made enormous amounts of money on their property deals are leading the effort to vote no against our children. These men are trashing our superintendent, questioning our educators, misrepresenting data, and degrading our progress. These are outright lies. These are men that in 7 years that I've been on the board, I've not seen one of them at a board meeting. I've not seen one of them in our schools learning how we do things and seeing the progress that each school is making. They want to protect their own self-interests. And as citizens, that's fine. But don't hide behind the rhetoric that they are throwing out against the system. They're putting their own self-interest, though, ahead of these interests of our students and our 11,000, our teachers and our 11,000 students. We represent these teachers and these children and all of our employees, and we happily put their interests over our own any day of the week. No other investment yields as great a return as the investment in education. An educated workforce is the foundation of every community and the future of every economy. The future of our schools and our city is in your hands. I know the wonderful citizens of Tuscaloosa are ready to vote for progress and excellence and not a step backwards. And they're ready to make education in our community our major focus. Please vote yes on September 24th. And I'll close with one of my own personal favorite Bible verses, Philippians 2, verses 3 through 4. I will do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility I will consider others better than myself. Let each of you look not to your own interests, but to the interests of others. On September 25th, each of us will wake up and look in the mirror and know that we have put our children and our teachers and our community before our own self-interests. This is for our kids. Thank you for being here today. Questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So with the rigorous academic pathways, it's talking about, these are existing programs that would be at risk. The city has AP, Fine Arts, STEM, Special Ed, High Quality Career Tech. Do you guys know how those would specifically be impacted if it would vote no? What type of cuts does this mean? They're just completely gone? What would the impact be?
That's a great question. So there is room for the next 2 years in the reserve for us to start analyzing this, but most of those are local units, okay? And local units means that it comes from our local tax dollars. Those are units over and above what the state pays us, gives us money for. And so each of these, as Mr. Lucas has set out, were part of the strategic plan to differentiate Tuscaloosa, to give our kids something additional, something spectacular. We can go back to average. And believe me, we would be willing to roll up our sleeves with our CSFO and as a board and come up with a plan to still make Tuscaloosa City Schools the best it can be. But we need this. That's what sets us apart. And we will lose much of that if this vote does not pass.
Maybe for residents who don't have children within city schools or don't know anyone with kids, but they live in the city, they would be voting on this. What would you say to them as to why they should vote yes for this?
That's a great question, and I've got a couple of responses. Number one, we want a great community. Strong schools means a strong community. And we can either pay now with a slight tax increase, or we can pay later with an uneducated workforce, or a workforce that is not as educated as that we are making them, a workforce or students that don't have all of the goods at their disposal that we're currently providing. The economic impact is, it's well researched that better schools, better property values. And third, I will say that at some point we have to look within our own self and say, what do we want as a community? Are we willing for a little self-sacrifice for the good of all? And each of these people have put aside political aspirations. They've been scoffed at in social media. Never once have we wavered in what is important here: our community, our schools, our teachers. If we continue to expand and rise and increase our proficiencies, Tuscaloosa will be a much better place. So what kind of community do you want to live in?
Yesterday, we put out a story about city leaders in Tuscaloosa looking to put $10 million to expand a tennis center here in Alberta. Now, under that post, we received a lot of comments from people in the community. I understand that one has absolutely nothing to do with the other, but a lot of the questions that we receive is, why are they asking for a property tax increase when they have the money to spend on a tennis center? How do you respond to those people?
Well, Mary, you're entirely correct. The city of Tuscaloosa and the City Board of Education, two completely separate entities. And other than the small amount of money that we get, and I don't want to diminish that, relatively speaking to our budget, the amount of money that we get from the city of Tuscaloosa is small. Now, they're great partners, but the city of Tuscaloosa is not the City Board of Education. So that tennis center has zero to do with the money that we get. It has zero to do with our budget. But great question. Thank you. Yes, sir.
1986 was the last time they passed it, but since that time, have there been any attempts to pass it?
To my knowledge, no.
About the city. The county did and was not successful, but the city have not.
Okay.
And to that point, everyone has seen the number of school systems that have tried to pass a tax referendum in the recent future and are unsuccessful. That's a testament that every school system is hurting and needing additional funds for education. You know, without going into too much of this, I think 86, number one, it is an embarrassment, but it's also a testament to how well we've spent those dollars this last decade, in particular, with the rising cost, the rising inflation, the change in how we educate students, the change in the Tuscaloosa City schools. In 86, we had one high school, and now we have three. And that was the result of listening to our community and wanting three high schools. And that's wonderful, and they are prospering. But it's painful to see where Tuscaloosa City is in relation to Boaz or Bessemer or Auburn. I mean, we deserve to be above that. Our students deserve to be above that.
I know you don't want to think about this, but if it fails next Tuesday, come next Wednesday morning, did y'all start cutting right away?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have a healthy reserve.
Okay.
So that would go against the theme being put out by the no that we have mismanaged funds. We have not mismanaged funds. Our books are always open. We have a CSFO that has an open door policy. We have healthy reserves that will allow us to withstand that. And we're good for probably the next 2 years currently how we're operating. But there will be cuts.
Because we wasn't even receiving this funds until after October 25. So even though we're passing this now, we won't even start receiving these funds until October 25.
Any other questions? All right, once again, we're so thankful that y'all care enough to be down here. This is huge for our city, and we appreciate y'all covering this story and telling our side. And once again, we as a board vote yes on September 24th. Thank you.
Thank you.